Hello there, my fellow pilots. What's up? It's Open World Games here, and we have a ton of Anthem news to go over today. We're going to be diving into some brand new details thanks to a new interview with Bioware. We're talking about post-launch content, the future of Anthem, and how they are going to be changing the game world, the old game world, and then potentially adding new regions to the game world itself. And then we're going to be diving into the microtransaction controversy and also those leaked shop prices, some brand new comments from this interview as well, and then dive into some other new details from the development team over at Bioware. So let's dive straight in. So this new tidbit comes from MMOgames.com. They did a brand new interview with one of the producers. I think his name is Skyla Costa. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. But let's see what he had to say about post-launch content and the future of Anthem. And then we'll dive into more teases about this next demo. So he says this: there are a lot of things coming post-launch. We have many different teams who have been working on that stuff for a few weeks already. So you can see different cosmetic items, different creatures, maybe a new region to explore. You'll have different events, different weather states. Anthem is a dynamic world. If you have rain right now, it applies to your jets. You can fly for longer as it cools down your jets. You can use electricity and therefore create larger effects. Now try to imagine that we can create different weather states and apply that so not only are new parts of the world going to behave differently, but old parts of the world as well. If it's day or if it's night, some creatures may show up or may be more powerful. We could play with all those variables and create a new narrative for the game. So it looks like there we are seeing teases to the world being expanded upon down the road with new regions. But also what excites me as well is seeing the current existing locations change up as well. Now this is one thing that Fortnite does really, really well in my opinion. And I think it would be so cool if Anthem really took to this. And maybe you heard of like some sort of shape or relic or something like that, changing, terraforming the landscape. That would be neat. Now, what's really neat about Anthem is that it does run on server. So a lot of the weather effects are server side, and everyone universally shares the same weather conditions and stuff like that. So they can tweak that as you go as well and make some really cool events out of it. Same thing goes with enemies and stuff like that. So I'm extremely curious to see what happens with that. Now, it does look like we could be seeing our first event like this as early as the next free demo, February 1st through the 3rd. So this is what was said at the end of BioWare's most recent blog post. It goes on to say this: I'm looking forward to the open demo weekend starting this Friday and having more players join us. We hope to see everyone from the VIP demo return. See you in the game. And then he says, and make sure to stick around for Sunday afternoon. You'll see a glimpse of some of the cool things we'll be doing in the future. Stronger together, Chad. So that was the head of live service teasing something could be happening this Sunday during that free demo. So you're going to definitely want to log on to Anthem this Sunday, check it out and see what's what. I'll have all the news for you guys if there is an event, so stay tuned for that for sure. Now a lot of you guys were wondering about PvP as well. Would we be seeing that too? So that was one of the questions there, and the answer from the most recent interview was PvP is not available for launch, but it's going to depend on the feedback that we get from the player base. So yeah, my personal preference is for them to build out the world as it exists with PvE, because I think the majority of us are really enjoying that content, and then maybe add PvP. So let me know what you think of that, guys. But honestly, I would like to see more javelins added, the world expanded, more strongholds, more quests, more story, and, you know, change up the existing world as well. Alright, so let's talk about microtransactions. So you may have seen those videos around the interwebs all about the controversies relating to Anthem. We're not going to shy away from this at all today. So yeah, it's basically gone viral. This shop image here showing off how much, you know, you can expect some of these cosmetics to cost in real money, in coins, and stuff like that. So Of course, you're going to have coins, which is going to be the in-game currency. So that's going to be something you're going to be earning by basically grinding the game, completing challenges, completing the game's missions, earning, experience, and getting the coins as a result of completing stuff. And then you have the purple currency, which is going to be shards, and that is going to be related to your microtransactions, which is going to be the real-life money that you can go into the shop and actually spend on, cosmetics. Now, players and fans have noted that it looks like some of these skins are potentially as expensive as $20, and that's free-to-play prices, but we have official comments from BioWare responding to this brand new controversy, so we're going to read over those right now. So this is the first one. Of course, I've read this one before, but I didn't want to get into the other new ones here in just a moment. But he says this: hey there, one thing to keep in mind is these don't represent final stamped for all eternity pricing. We are iterating on our economy design and balance almost daily. So you're seeing a snapshot of one iteration. This is why we tend to not discuss things like pricing, because it's one of those iterative things that's sure to change frequently right up until the day you play the game. Now, probably already heard that one before, but from this brand new interview from MMO Games, they ask, now let's jump tracks for a moment and talk about the economy in Anthem. Now, one of the executive producers, Mark Dara, has said that the economy that players are going to see in the public demo for Anthem is going to be vastly different than what we'll be seeing in the final game. What are players going to see in that final release in February? And this was the answer. So for Anthem, in turn for the economy, the demo was created quite a few weeks ago, and therefore, while it is a slice of the final game, we have been tweaking and iterating on the economy since then. We did find out that we need to make some changes in regards to the curve in which you gain experience. We also made changes to the amount of in-game currency you get, the price of items in the store. We had to balance those out so that we could have a better experience overall. We always have the philosophy that we want to be fair to the consumer, to the player, making sure that as long as they play, they always feel rewarded by playing, because you're going to have enough coins to get that cosmetic you wanted to buy. It's not going to be like, you've got to play forever to buy that one thing. We wanted to make sure it's always fair for the player to do so. Of course, there are different items with different rarities and different prices, but we have been tweaking a lot. That's what Mark Dara meant when he said the economy from the demo is different, because we've been tweaking a lot over the last few weeks. End quote. So that's the official comment there about all the microtransactions leaks. So, yeah, I am going to say that I would prefer, of course, them to not model the microtransactions off of free-to-play games. That's just not cool. It won't work, and it will not work with the community at all. So I think, when we talk about $20, we're talking about free-to-play prices. Especially when you fork over $60, that's a lot of money for a game, and you don't want to be expected to keep forking over like $20 or anything like that. Now, let me know what you guys expect from the shop prices. I'm extremely curious from you guys on this one. So you would have, uncommon items and then like legendary items. How much would you be willing to pay for legendary items? Remember, the DLC with this game is going to be free, and it's going to be based on those microtransactions. So I'm extremely curious to see how much you would be willing to pay for legendary cosmetics. So they would probably label them in terms of rarity, and then also base the coins and then the actual shards based off of those rarities. So hopefully they don't get too extreme with this. This is the type of thing that can make or break the game. So it's going to be really up to BioWare and EA on how they're going to price stuff. So please don't screw it up, EA. I mean, I really enjoyed the demo from when it was working, and I think the gameplay loop can be a lot of fun. So I would be heartbroken if they screwed up again. I've already been through hell with Battlefront 2. I remember everyone at the Game Changer meetings sitting there before release, super hyped for it. We had not seen microtransactions or anything like that. Then the loot box came out and it was a disaster. I don't want to see that again. So I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with this. But those are the official responses from EA and Bioware concerning what they have planned for microtransactions and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Alright, let's talk about some new loot information and stuff like that. So, This was one of the comments out on Reddit. He says, if you leave something on the ground, is it supposed to get auto-picked up when you leave, or do you miss out on that loot? Great question. So the answer is this, from Brendan Holmes from Bioware. He says, masterwork and higher rarity loot is picked up automatically for you, smiley face. So, seems like to me the answer there. So it looks like you could skip over green, uncommon items, maybe common items, stuff like that, if you wanted to, so you don't really, you know, get hunkered down by too much loot you don't want later in the game. So, seems like it's good to know that automatically you would pick up Masterworks and Legendary gear, because you really don't want to be missing out on that. Now, one thing that I did notice with my playtime with Anthem so far is it is so slow moving around the fort. It's like painfully slow, my god. So, I have some good news for you guys about that one. Jimmy Page says, is the walking speed in the fort going to be updated at all for the next demo? Maybe for launch? I mean, like a little? Please, I take a brisk walk. And Ben Irving says, yes, for launch. Great. Whew. Because it needed to be changed. It is such a pain going back to Fort Tarsus sometimes. But hey, we also get the option of going back to the launch base. So, several different options there, but at least now we know that we can walk faster in Fort Tarsus. So, good news there. Alright, time to go over your top comments. Leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up right here in the video. Alright, so Rio33 says this. I feel if you remove the need to grind gear by boosting weapons to your level, it defeats the purpose of the grind. Grinding to max level is the whole point, and by making that easier and more accessible, it shortens the game life in general. So rather playing for longer, you'll be playing for shorter as you get the gear, then get bored very quickly, as have nothing to grind. But hey, that's just me. So yeah, I completely hear you on that one. I completely agree that, you know, grinding gear is very addicting for sure when playing the game. And that was a reply about, you know, would you guys like to level up your weapons, or do you want to just go hunting for new ones? And he got a lot of likes on his comment. It seems like the majority of you prefer to basically go out into the world and continue grinding. Next top comment comes from Night Fury, who says this. Eventful weekend is incorrect. Most of it was unplayable due to loading screens and server issues. That aside, the little that was playable was real nice. So yeah, you can see how many of us really want to just be able to play this game uninterrupted. So I'm really hoping, like really crossing my fingers, that shortly after launch, and you guys heard me say this before, Fallout 76 and stuff, and that ended up being a nightmare. But anyway, hopefully they stabilize this game pretty much instantly. We're not dealing with like an MMO type game. We're only dealing with 4 players. So that's the good news. I think they could pull it off. I really do. And from what I've played, I've had a freaking blast. So crossing my fingers it all works, because I think this game is a lot of fun. That's just my personal opinion. Alright, J-Max says this. Question, why are they having us play an older build? Shouldn't we play on the newer builds to test for bugs? So yeah, when they get prepared to release like a beta, a demo, it has to go through certification with Microsoft, Sony, and that takes like a couple weeks. So that's when the build starts getting old, and to update that, you have to go through more certification. So no matter what, it's going to be an older build. So that's the reason why you experience an older build from what they currently have sitting at the office. So that explains that. So it's not that they are saying, hey, let's just release the old build. It's just the approvals that go on behind the scenes. They take time. So, but guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Overworld Games, of course, for more Anthem news and updates. So I'm super excited to hear more about this new region. I really want to get into this free demo this week, and that's going to be interesting. So let's see if they fix a lot of the issues that were present in the VIP demo. They're going to be dealing with a lot more people coming into the demo this time around for sure. So we'll wait and see. We will see what happens. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.